Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And this is Yarny Thursday. And I am going to be making my mom a bedspread, but she wanted roses. So I made this. This is my stitch fiddle right here. And I made this graph of a rose. And I'm hoping that looks like a rose. I think it does. My husband said it did. So, anyway, we are going to be making this rose today. We're going to do the first 15 rows of this rose. So, this rose is 30 stitches by 30 rows. So, this is going to be a nice size square. I figured it would be, I'm not exactly sure what it'll entail, but we're going to try to make this rose. So anyway, I wanted to show you a picture of that because when I print it out, it cuts the thing in half and it's easier to show you on the computer. All right, so we are needing a J hook. Is that a J hook? Okay, let me show you the yarn we're going to be using for this project. So I've got my colors all picked out. This looks white, but it's not. This is antique white, and I love this yarn. And of course, this is my go-to yarn. I love this yarn. All right. So then we're going to use a cranberry red, a regular red, and I have to go and buy some red yarn, the bright red. I think it's called bright red or fire red it's called. So it's going to be those three colors of red, and then we have mid green, dark olive green, and I think this is forest, and a forest green. So those are the colors that we're going to be doing. I think that we're going to have to be starting out with our you're going to have to make some balls of yarn because I'm not going to be carrying too many. So with this antique white, you need to make 5 balls of yarn, and then the forest green, we need 2. We need 3 balls of yarn. So as we go, the light green we need 2, and the medium, this dark olive here, we need 2. So you need 2 balls, and that will start us off. And then as we go, I will let you know if we need um, any more balls of yarn that we need to make. So anyway, that's to start out with, and we will be back to make this rose. Okay, so we are going to start with row 1 of this rose, and we need to start out with a chain of 31. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1. Okay. In the second chain from the hook, we are going to single crochet. And then you're going to single crochet in every chain across. And this is starting out with our antique white. So row 1 is the right side. And how you know you're on the right side is this tail is on the left hand side. And that's how you know whether you're on the right or the wrong side. Alright, so you should have 30 stitches by the end of your chain. So, you know, it's probably a good idea to count them to make sure. Then in row 2, you're going to chain 1 and turn, and then you're just going to single crochet across. So row 2, make your single crochets, and I will meet you for row 3. Okay, so row 3, we've got 2 rows of this antique white. Row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Oh, also, we needed 5 little balls of the white, the antique white, and then you need 2 of each of the other colors. So we're going to start. This is also the front side of our work. And you'll notice that all odd numbers are the right side of your work, and the even numbers are the wrong side of your work. So there's 1 and 2. We need 2 of these. All right, and now we need to switch. We need a dark green. So I've got all these little balls ready to go hit my side. We need to switch to this dark green. And in the back loop only, I am not going to carry this white. We're going to leave that. We'll leave that white there. We need 5 of these dark greens, but this is the back loop only on these. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring in another antique white. So we'll switch back to the antique white. And of course, you're going to go through both loops. I'm going to leave this green there. We need 4 of the antique white here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we need the dark red. If I can get that to come up over there. There we go. Dark red. We need 3 of those. So let's leave this white here. And again, in the back loop only, we're going to do this dark red and next 3 stitches. So 3 stitches of that, and another antique white, and for this row, we probably could have carried that antique white all the way across here because it wouldn't have shown. We probably could have carried it from here all the way across there. So if I do another square, that's what I'll do. I'll probably carry it. So we need 4 or 3 of these antique whites here after this red, or that dark red. And then we need to switch back over to another dark red. Alright, back loop only. We need 3 of these dark reds again. Alright. And another antique white. We need 4 of those. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, and now we need our other dark green. And alright, so we got back loop only. We need 4 of these dark greens. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I just carried this antique white with me instead of bringing in another one. We need 2 antique white at the end. And that is the first row, or the third row. So now we have 3 rows, and that's what it should look like. Alright, and then what we're going to do is we're going to need to mark off those 3 rows. Okay, so let's do row 4. So we're going to chain 1 and turn, And now we're on the wrong side. And so we are going to need to we're going to have two of this antique white, and then we need one so one dark green. You can go through both loops for that. Okay. Then we need the medium green. Nope. We need the lighter green. We need a light green here, which is here. And then we're going to do front loop only for this. I'm carrying this dark green with me because I'm going to need it. Then we need that medium green. And we need two we're going to need two medium greens. So 1 and 2. And I don't know why I didn't want to carry that. Wait a minute. We're going to leave that light green here. All right. Medium green. We needed to carry the dark green. That's what was going on there. All right, so let's go back and get that dark green. Goodness gracious. All right. There we go. And then we're going to switch over to the dark green. And we're actually going to put a dark green right here. All right, and then well, I guess I should have put that there. I'm going to bring in another antique white here. And I need two antique whites next. And then we have this dark red right here. We're going to switch over to. And I am going to need 5 dark red. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. All right, and then the 1 white, go to white next, and we need 1 white here, and then we're back to that red again, and we're going to do 5 of the dark red again. which is, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're back to the white. And we need 2 white. I didn't. Yeah. There, I went in that same stitch as that red, and I didn't want to do that. So 2 white. Then I need the dark green. So we're switching over to the dark green. And we need 1 dark green. So again, I need the, now I need the, yes, the light green. Let's carry this dark green with us. So we need 1 light green. Well, it's not the light, it's the medium. I'm not looking at that right. Hang on a minute. Alright, so the medium green. We need 2 of them. Alright, now we need that light green. And we need 1 of those. Oh, goodness gracious. Hang on a second. Yeah, we did that right. Because I'm carrying this dark green with me. Alright. 2 medium. 1 light. I thought there was something wrong. Pull this back here. Lots of strings to deal with. So this one, if you're a beginner, there's a lot of colors in this. You can try it if you like, but there is a lot of colors in this. Alright, so we got the medium. The light. Then we need a medium. Back to the medium, we need one medium and then one dark at the end here. So one medium and one dark. And that still ain't right. Alright, let's see what happened, because we should be at 2 more stitches left over. So the dark, the light, the 2 olive, and the dark. And there. Because we went from 4 to 5, right? And then the 2. 1, 2, 4, 5, 1 in the middle. And then the 1, 2, 4, 5. And then 2. And then the 1. That should be that, and yes. So 1 and then 2 stitches. We may go back this we did, there was too much fiddling around here on this. So let's just redo these greens here. Alright. Let's just kind of start over on those greens. So here is the dark green. And then we need 2 olive, or 2 medium green. So there's 1 and 2 here. And then 1 light green. Okay. Yeah, I did something wrong before. And then we're back to the medium green. And then the dark green. And the dark green is on that last one. Get it in there. Alright. Now we need our, the last 2 is this white and these last 2 stitches. There we go. Alright, so let's chain 1 and turn and look at this. Alright, so looks like we got a good start here. This is looking pretty good. Alright, so that was row 4, and so let's mark it off. It's kind of fiddly getting it started, but once you get it going, I think it'll be okay. So we're going to chain one and turn, and we need two of these white here at the side, and then we need to go to the dark green and switch over to the dark green. And this first one is a dark green, so we're going to go through both loops of it. Alright, and then we need the medium green. And that's a medium green, but we need two medium green. So I'll go through both loops of this first medium green right here. If I can get in there. Where's my loops? There they are. There we go. I'm going to put my glasses on because I'm having a hard time seeing this. So we need two medium green here. So there's one, and then the back loop are on the front side. So the back loop of this light green. That's the second one. And now we need to bring up this light green. And we need two light green. So we're going to do the back loop of it, of these two. And then we're bringing this red over. So it's our dark red that we're bringing over. So in this first dark green one, it is the red, and we need three of them. So 2 and 3. Then we need our regular red. Yes, we're bringing in yet another color. I hope I didn't make this too hard. Anyway, so now we need 4 red. And let's bring this dark red with us. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to switch over to the dark red again. And we need 3 dark red. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And switching over and I took that, wait a minute, I took that tail with me. I needed all of it. Alright. Now that I got it all, there's 1, 2, and 3. Switching back over to the red. I need 3 of the regular red now. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And now I need 2 dark red. 1 and 2. Alright, and now we're just going to bring our dark green over here next, switching over to the dark green, and we are needing 1 dark green, and then we need to switch over to the medium green, and I need 2 of them. And I'm bringing that dark green with me. So there's 1 and 2, and then we need the light green. And there should be 2 of them. So 1 and 2. And we have messed up somewhere. I have an extra stitch again. Alright, so the rest of this is the dark green and two white at the end. So you need a dark green and 2 whites at the end, and that row will be finished. And then I will be back for row 6, and so I could figure out what I did. So we'll see you then. Alright, so row 6. We're going to chain 1 and turn, and then we're on the back side. So we need 2 of the antique white, and then we need our dark green. So we're switching over to the dark green, and we need 1 dark green here and 2 medium. So the medium green's over here. Alright, so that one's dark. Okay, 2 medium. And 2 light. Switching over to our light green. And then we need our dark red, which I think is that cranberry color. Yes. And we need 2 of those. 2 cranberry. And then 2 red. And then we need a bright red. So this is our bright red. so there's a bright red here. I'm videotaping him. Oh, there's the red. Hang on a minute. Like, where'd that red go? There we go. Bring that forward. Then let's put the bright red in. Alright, so one bright red here. And then we're going to switch over to the red. And we need two. So there's one and two red. And then we need the dark red, which is right here. Alright, so we need two dark red. So there's one and two. And then we need the red. As soon as I find it. Here it is. And we just need one of them. And then we need to switch over to the bright red again. So I'm just going to bring it over. And we need two bright red. And then the regular red. We need three regular. So there's one, two, and three. And two dark red. One and two. Alright, so then we need our bright green, our light green, one light green, and one medium green. And then two dark green. And then two light green. No, and then the two white. So the two white at the end here too. All right, and that will be row 6, and we will be back for row 7. Okay, so row 7, chain 1 and turn. And now we're on the front side of our work. This is turning out pretty cool looking. All right, so we need 4 white. This antique white that I have in the background. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we need to go to a dark green. And we are done with these other two green colors, so we're just going to go ahead and cut them off. And one dark green here, and then we need to go to our dark red, and we need two dark red. So there's one and two, and then yeah, we need our bright, not bright red, but our red, a regular red, and we need two of those. And I think that's what this is. The regular red right there. Two of them. Then we need our bright red, and we need 4 bright red. Oh, wait a minute. Let me make sure. So I am carrying my reds because it doesn't matter on the reds. You can't see the carrying of them. So I'm going to go ahead and carry the red. All right. So I need 4 bright red now, because we had 2 dark red and 2 regular red. Now we need 4 bright red. So there's 3 and 4. And then we need to go to our regular red. I'm going to carry this bright red with me. And we need 1 regular. So that's a dark. 1 dark. And a regular red again. And that is a regular red there. And then we need, 2 regulars. So there's 1 and 2. And then we need a bright red. And we need 3 bright reds. 1, 2, and 3. And then 2 regular reds. And we're done with that bright, so I'm going to leave it there. So 2 regular reds, which is 1 and 2. And then 2 dark red. So there's 1 and 2 there. And then we need a light green, no, a medium green. So we need 2 medium greens and a dark. And that. So 2 mediums and a dark, and then 3 white at the end. Let me find my dark green. And then we have our antique white, and there's 3 of them at the end here. So it will look like this. So we've got our leaves, and this finishes off the leaves. I think we've got one more over here to finish the leaves, and then we can cut those greens off, all the greens off. We will be back for row 8 then. Okay, so row 8. That is what row 7 looks like. So that's 7 rows right there. Chain 1 and turn for row 8. We need 4 of this white, or I'm using antique white. So there's 3 and 4, and then 1 dark green, and that's what I put right here is the dark green. All right. So that finishes off the greens. I want to cut these off because we're not going to need those anymore. And there's a green down here we also need to cut off. Because that was the last of that. All right. So from the dark green, then we need 2 dark reds. So there's 1 and 2, and then we need 2 regular red. And I'm carrying these reds together, so so 2 regular red, yes, 1 and 2, and then we need our bright red. And we need 2 of those. Alright, now let's switch over to our dark red. And we need 9 dark red. So there's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we're going to switch over to our bright red. And we need, hang on a minute. There we go. So I need 2 bright red next. So there's 1 and 2. And then we need 2 regular red. So there's 1 and 2. And then we need a dark red. Hang on a second. I'm needing this bright red here. One, 2. Now we need a dark red, and we just need 1 dark red here. And then 5 of the white at the end. Alright. Alright, so there is row 8. And we'll be back for row 9. Alright, so we're going to chain 1 and turn for row 9. That is, yeah, what row 8 looks like. Alright, we're going to start out with 4 on the white. So there's 2, 3, and 4. And then we need our dark red. So we need 2 dark red. So there's 1 and 2. And then we need 1 regular red. Which that is a regular. And then we need to go to bright red, and we need 1 bright red. And now I need 3 dark red. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So then 3 regular red. One, 2, and 3. And then we need 1 dark red. Which is right here. And then we need to go back to the regular red again. And we need 3 regular red. 1, 2, and 3. And then switching back over to our dark red. We need 3 dark red. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now our regular red, we need 2 regular red. So there's 1 and 2, and then 1 bright red. And 2, hang on a second, let's leave that regular red there. So 1 bright red here, then we need 2 dark red, which is here, and here in this green leaf, and then we just need 4 white. Finish it up. And there it is. So that is row 9. And let's mark it off. Now we're just concentrating on the rows now. Pull these greens out of here. Got a little bit of a tangled mess here. There we go. Alright, so that's lots better. Now let's chain 1 and turn for row 10 and start out with 3 of our white. And then we need to go with the dark red. And we need 2 dark red. Hang on a second. I did not do that right. We're leaving the white behind here. Leave that white there. So there's 1 and 2. And then we need a bright red. So 1 bright red. And then we're going to switch over to a regular red. Which is right here. And we need 2 of regular red. So there's 1 and 2. And then we need to switch over to our dark red. And we need 2 dark red. So there's 1 and 2. And then we need a And I didn't do that right. I apologize. That ain't right. Yeah. All right. So we are starting out with 2 dark red. That is correct. But we need a regular red in between here. We need 1 regular red. And then a bright red. And that's so 2 dark red, 1 regular red, 2 bright red. So there's 1 and 2, and now we're going back to our dark red, and we need 2 of those, and then our regular red, yes, 3 regular red. So there's 1, 2, and 3, and then 1 bright red, and then 1 regular red, one dark red, and a regular red, and a bright red. Alright, so our regular red then, back to our regular red, we need 3 of those. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then our 2 dark red. So we'll switch over to the dark. So there's 1 and 2. And then we need a bright red. Okay. A regular red. And 2 dark red. And then 3 white. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so let's look at the other side of this. This rose is shaping up. Look at that. Alright. Alright, so there's row 10. Alright, so 10 rows done. Chain 1 and turn for row 11. And we're going to start out with our 3 white. I'm not using white, but it's easier just to say it. Then we need a dark red, a regular red, and a bright red. Hang on a second. There's the bright. All right. All right. And then we're going to switch back to our dark red. And we need actually 2 dark red. So 1 and 2. Then we're going to switch over to our regular red. And we need 2 regular red. So 1 and 2. And then switch to the bright red. We need 3 bright red. So 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so 1 regular red then. That's a regular red there. Alright, 1 regular, 1 dark, 1 regular. That is a regular red. And then 3 bright reds. That's a bright red there. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So then we need to go back to the regular red. And we need 2 regular reds. That's a regular red there. 1 and 2. And then 2 dark reds. One and 2. Then I need a bright red. There it is. So the bright red here. Leave it there. We need a regular red. Yeah, 2 regular reds. on. So there's 1 and 2, and then a dark red, and then the 3 white at the end. There. And I like those colors together. That's so awesome looking. Alright, so there is 11. Row 11 is done. Yay. We will be back. I got to get some tangles out. We'll be back for row 12. Okay, so row 12, we're going to chain 1 and turn. And we're going to start out with 2, the white. And then switch over to our dark red. And we need 2 of those. And then we need to switch over to our red. And we need 2 of them. No, we just need 1. 1 red, and then, hang on. That is a red. We're going to take this with us. Then we need to switch over to our bright red. We do need 2 of the bright red. So there's 1 and 2, and then we need our dark red. And then just 1 dark red here. And then we need a regular red, and we need 2 of those. So 1 and 2. Now switching back over to our bright red, we need 3 bright red. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we need to switch back over to our dark red. And we need 5 dark red next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So back to our bright red, we need 3 of those. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we need 2 of our regular red. Which is 1 and 2. And then 2 of our dark red. So the regular red, we're done with the regular red. I'm going to leave it behind. So 2 dark red, 1 and 2. And then we need 1 bright red. and then back to our dark red. We need 2 dark red, and then 2 white, and that'll finish up this row. There we go. Okay, so that is row 12, and we'll mark that row off. Alright, row 13, chain 1 and turn. And we're going to start out with our 2 white, switching over to our dark red. We're needing 1 dark red, 1 regular red, and 1 bright red. And that is a bright red. Alright, and then we need our dark red again. Alright, we are needing 1 dark red. And then switching over to our regular red. We need 2 of those. 2 regular. So 1 and 2. Well, hi there, Miss Pumpkin. And you're in my way, I can't see. Alright, we need a bright red next. Okay, let me 1, 1, 1. Alright, and then 1, 2. Yes, we need 3 bright red actually. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to switch over to our dark red again. And we need 2 dark red. And then our regular red. We need 3 regular reds. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Alright, and then back to our dark red again. We need 2 dark reds. 1 and 2. And then we need our bright red after that. And we need 3 bright reds. That is bright. 1, 2, and 3. and then 2 regular red, one, 2, and then 1 dark red, 1 regular red, no, that's a bright red, not regular. So we got 1 dark, 1 bright. Now we're going back to our regular, and we need 2 regular reds. One and 2. And then 1 dark red, and then 2 white. And that's it. That is row 13. And then we'll be back for row 14. Okay, so 14, chain 1 and turn, and we need to start, we're starting out with the 2 white, and then we need to switch over to our dark red, so 1 dark red, 2 regular, 1 light. That's how this is starting out. That's a regular. That's a regular. And then go to the bright red, so 1 dark after that bright, and then we're going to switch over to the regular red, and we need 4 regular red now. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we need to go back to our dark color, red. And we need 2 dark. So there's 1, yeah. and 2, and then let me see, 1, 2, 1, 1, 4, 2 dark, 1 regular. Yeah, 2. Now we're going to 1 regular and 3 bright. So 1 regular, go to the bright, and we need 3 bright. One, 2, 3, and then 1 regular. So we'll go back to the regular, one dark, 1 bright. So that's 1 regular, 1 dark, and a bright red. And then it's back to 1 regular. Okay. Nope, that ain't right. Let's see. So there's 1, and then 2, and then 1. 1, and then 4, and then 2, 1, and then 3, 1. Oh, all right. I jumped ahead, I think. So we're on this dark. One dark, 2 regular, 1 bright. 1 dark, 4 regular, 2 dark, 1 regular, 3 bright, and 1 regular, and now we need 2 dark. So there's 1 and 2, and now we need to go to the bright, and we need 3 bright. Which is 1, 2, and 3. All right, now this makes sense. I kind of jumped ahead a little bit, I think. And then we need 1 regular, 1 dark, and 1 bright. So there's our regular, our dark, and our bright. And then we need a regular and a dark, and then 2 white. Alright, and that is row 14. Let's see what that looks like. Our rows is shaping up. Alright, look at that. That's pretty cool looking. Alright, so let's mark off 14. And do 15. Alright, so we are starting out with the 2 white on the end here, and then switching over to our dark red, and we need a dark red, a regular red, and a bright red. So there's the dark, our regular. Hang on a minute, we need to bring this with us. Our regular, and then our bright red. And then we need to go to the regular red, and we're going to do regular, dark, and bright in that order. Okay, so regular, dark, wait a second, we did dark, regular, bright, and then we need dark, regular. Wait a second, I didn't do that right. Goodness gracious. Alright, hang on a minute. So dark, regular, bright. Let's do our bright. Get the bright one in here, and then we need to go back to the dark. And then we need 1 dark, 1 regular, 3 bright. So dark, regular, and then 3 bright. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're back to the dark again. And now we need dark, regular, 2 bright. So 1 dark, 1 regular, and then go to our bright, and now we need 2 bright. So 1 and 2, and then back to our dark again. And now we need 1 dark and 2 bright, and 1 regular. One dark, two bright, one regular. And then back to the dark. We need 6 dark now. Why are we so messed up here? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then I need 1 bright, 2 regular, and a dark. So 1 bright, 2 regular, and a dark, and then the last 2 are white. And row 15 is complete then. And there is 15 rows of our rows. 15 rows of our rows. Okay. Anyway, there it is. So when we come back next week, we're going to do the other 15 rows of this rows, and we'll finish it up. But we are halfway through our square, and like I said, this is a little bit intricate, and it is not for the faint of heart. So, also, you know, it is, I think it's more intermediate to um, professional, for not pretty much for beginners. Unless you've done this kind of tapestry crochet before, I don't know. I don't think, I think a beginner would get lost doing this, but I guess you could try it and see. Um, I want to thank you guys for watching. Have a great day, and bye bye now.